Once upon a time in ancient China, there lived a quiet man who spoke little, but whose words echoed across centuries. His name was Lao Tzu, and he wandered the edges of society like a gentle breeze, neither striving nor resisting. Legend has it that he grew disillusioned with the chaos of civilization and retreated into the mountains. But before he disappeared, he left behind a slim volume, the Tao Te Ching, a whisper of wisdom that would outlive empires. This story is not about religion or dogma. It's about remembering something that we, in the modern age of glowing screens and endless striving, have forgotten. It's about remembering how to be. Lao Tzu didn't shout, he didn't command, he observed. He watched rivers flow and trees bend in the wind. And in nature he saw something profound, the secret to a life of peace, balance, and meaning. He called it the Tao, the way. We've forgotten the way, the forgotten art of non-doing. In our world, busyness is a badge of honor. We fill our calendars, chase goals, optimize every second. Productivity is our religion. But Lao Tzu said, in the pursuit of knowledge, every day something is added. In the pursuit of the Tao, every day something is dropped. He spoke of Wu Wei, effortless action or non-doing, not laziness, but alignment. It's the art of doing nothing, unnaturally. The way a bird flies without thinking about how, or a stream finds its path around rocks without resistance. Life works best not when we push against it, but when we flow with it. We have forgotten how to flow. The illusion of control. Lao Tzu saw that we humans cling tightly to control, of others, of the future, of outcomes. But he warned, trying to control the future is like trying to take the master carpenter's place. We build empires of anxiety, trying to mold life into our vision. But life doesn't work that way. It unfolds like a fern in spring, mysterious, unhurried, perfect in its timing. The more we tighten our grip, the more peace slips through our fingers. We have forgotten how to trust. The power of emptiness. We chase fullness, full schedules, full wallets, full stomachs. But Lao Tzu reminded us that it's the empty space in the cup that makes it useful. The emptiness in the room is what makes it livable. We've filled our lives with noise, clutter, information, distraction. But in all this fullness, we've lost the silence in which wisdom speaks. We become afraid of the void, but Lao Tzu knew it is in emptiness that we find depth. We have forgotten how to be still. The strength of softness. We are told to be strong, to stand firm, to be tough. But Lao Tzu pointed to water, the softest thing in the world that wears down the hardest rock. Nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water. Yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it. He saw that real power doesn't come from force. It comes from gentleness, patience, and presence. We chase dominance but forget that nature itself favors the flexible. We have forgotten the strength in yielding. The wisdom of simplicity. Our lives have become complex beyond measure. Lao Tzu lived simply, and in simplicity, he saw clarity. I have just 3 things to teach: simplicity, patience, compassion. Not 10 productivity hacks, not $1 million morning routine, just 3 things, and in them, everything. We've forgotten that simplicity is not lack, it is elegance, it is focus, it is freedom. So here we are, modern, busy, connected, and more lost than ever. Lao Tzu wouldn't judge us. He'd just smile gently, maybe point to a tree or a river, or the wind passing through tall grass. He'd remind us that the way is still there, waiting. That peace isn't something we have to earn. It's something we return to. That the wisdom of life was never lost. It was simply forgotten, under the noise of all we've added. And maybe if we listen closely enough to that quiet voice from 2,000 years ago, we'll remember what he knew all along. That the way is not found in chasing more, but in becoming less. In softening, in trusting, in letting go, in simply being. Living the Tao today, a quiet revolution. You don't need to escape to a monastery to live like Lao Tzu. You don't need robes or rituals. You don't even need to change your job, your city, or your responsibilities. What you need is a shift in how you live, not where you live. Lao Tzu's wisdom doesn't ask you to abandon the world. It invites you to meet the world with a new spirit, to carry water not as a chore, but as a ceremony, to walk your dog not as a task, but as a meditation, to speak not to fill the air, but to touch a heart. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about unbecoming everything you are not. It's subtle, gentle, a quiet revolution inside your soul. Here's how it begins. Let go of the need to force. Modern life teaches us to push. Push for results, push for success, push to be heard. But Lao Tzu taught that forcing brings resistance and suffering. The way of the Tao is not pushing, but allowing. When you stop forcing things to happen, life begins to unfold. Try this. Next time something doesn't go your way, don't resist, don't panic, don't fix. Just breathe. Let it be for a moment. Watch how it shifts without your interference. Not because you did nothing, but because you aligned instead of struggled. This is Wu Wei in action, the effortless power of flowing with life instead of against it. Embrace simplicity in a complicated world. In an age of constant comparison and consumption, simplicity is rebellion. Lao Tzu knew that peace lives in the uncluttered spaces. That clarity arises not from adding more, but from removing the unnecessary. Ask yourself, what can I subtract today? One possession, one expectation, one worry, not as punishment, but as liberation. The more you simplify, the more room you make for joy, for love, for presence. Lao Tzu said, manifest plainness, embrace simplicity, reduce selfishness, have few desires. What a radical, gentle kind of freedom. Trust life's timing. We are in love with urgency, but the Tao moves like the seasons, without hurry, without delay. Trees do not bloom before they're ready. Rivers do not rush to reach the sea. Lao Tzu reminded us, the way does not rush, yet everything is accomplished. Patience is not passivity. It's the wisdom to trust that everything arrives exactly when it's meant to. So if you're waiting, wondering, worrying, pause. You're not late. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. Growth is happening, even when it's invisible. Trust the unseen. Honor softness. We celebrate strength in our culture. Loud, bold, unyielding strength. But Lao Tzu celebrated softness, yielding, vulnerability. Water is soft, but it carves canyons. Kindness is soft, but it transforms hearts. Gentleness is soft, but it melts conflict. The world tells you to harden, but Lao Tzu invites you to soften, to meet pain with compassion, to meet conflict with calm, to meet yourself with tenderness. That is not weakness. That is ancient, sacred strength. Be present fully. The Tao is only ever found in this moment, not in regrets of the past, not in hopes for the future, but here, in the breath you're taking now. Lao Tzu said, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. So be here, really here. When you eat, eat. When you listen, listen. When you rest, rest. Don't miss your life waiting for a better one. Remembering not learning the Tao isn't something new to be learned. It's something ancient to be remembered. It's not a skill, it's a return, a coming home. A home where your worth isn't measured by your productivity, where your value isn't tied to your appearance, your status, your speed. A home where being is enough, where silence is holy, where softness is strength, where nature is teacher, where you, just as you are already part of the way. You don't have to understand it all right now. You don't need to master the Tao. That's not the point. The Tao doesn't ask you to be perfect. It only asks you to be present.